Hey gang, DVD collector back in the movie room, and welcome back to Criterion Corner. It's been way too long. Discussed this with Ian a lot. I wasn't up in the air or anything. I wanted to continue this. I'm a lazy asshole. That's all there is to it. So what we did was we decided that during Criterion Corner, beforehand, he will pick a spine number. I will go pull it off the shelf, and we will watch this. Now, we have, technically, I have a large collection of Criterions. So I asked him to pick a number between 1 and just randomly 800, okay? And I know I have more than that number-wise, past 800, but I wasn't clear on what I have. So anyway, he picks a number. I go and find the number. If I don't own that number, I go to the closest one to that number before the number, not after. Closest without going over. So this week he picked spine number 254, and I actually did own spine 254, and that is John Cassavetes' The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. This comes in the Cassavetes box set. It is, I don't have it with me. It's a few films. It is the DVDs. I've had this for a while. Bought this at a pawn shop, I believe. This does include the 76 version and the 78 version. I chose to watch the 78 version because it's cleaned up and it's shortened by 30 minutes. And from what I hear, a better film. Cassavetes is known as an actor and a director. Quite a few films in the acting business. The one that pops out to me the most is Rosemary's Baby. He plays the husband. So that's the acting side of him. There's quite a few more that just don't come to my head. Wild Bunch, I believe, is one. Directing wise, he has made a few films. Now, Cassavetes is one of those directors that you either love or you don't like, or you're not a fan. How about that? I have a hard time watching a lot of his films. The camera work on them is just not something that I enjoy. This film right here is a prime example, and I don't know what this means, is a prime example of I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time. And I've thought about that since last night, because I even told Ian this is one I had to sleep on, because I was just so up in the air with this film. But when I come to terms with it, I decided the liking part of it is that I really like the story. The story is really well put together. Even though it's considered a film noir, I don't get it. I don't get that. It's not a heist movie. It's just I don't know what I would call it. I'd almost put it in a genre-list spot. But if I had to, film noir is the closest. All right, what I didn't like about it is the filming process. It's filmed horribly. And I know he's known for this style of filming. Woman Under the Influence it's not quite of what I would put as film. The camera work is bad. I love that film. That's my favorite of all his stuff. But this one, just all the close-ups and very, very, very 80s feeling, but at the same time, had almost a TV film. I mean, we're talking like close-ups like this sometimes on the cameras, except for a little shaky and things like that. But what I have to say is I did love the film. The film itself is about a strip club owner, gentleman's club owner, whatever you want to call it, that has gotten into some financial trouble with betting. He is set up for failure by some of these business people to kill a Chinese bookie. Well, that's not exactly what's going on here. And at the end, basically, he's set up for failure. So the storyline is great. The storytelling is great. It's just the camera work for me that didn't do it. But it really, really, really didn't take away from watching the film. It just was one of those things that bugs me. So I have to say, with all that said, that I did like it, and I would recommend people to watch this. Now, when I went and did some research on these, on this film, you know, I found out that this, what I found out, especially from the back of the DVD cover, is this film only lasted 7 days in the theater. It was such a flop they pulled it. I can see that. I can see people losing interest in this very quickly. But I can also tell you guys, if you stick with it, the story gets really good. There are parts that drag like hell, but the story's good. So anyway, that is all for Criterion Corner. Next week, Ian has pulled spine number 56, I believe, and the closest one I own to 56 is Alfred Hitchcock's 39 Steps. So hopefully you'll look forward to that. I look forward to watching it, and again, because I've seen it, you know, a couple times, but I really would like to refresh and talk about it. So until then, let's keep Criterion alive. Later.